and welcome back to my vlog, part 20 of Flatland, a romance of many dimensions, section 13, how I had a vision of Lineland, part 2. And we were finding out about the king's offspring and connubial relations, etc. Staggered at this answer, for in the immediate proximity of the monarch, as I had noted in my dream before I entered Lineland, there were none but men. I ventured to reply, "Pardon me, but I cannot imagine how your Royal Highness can at any time either see or approach their Majesties when there are at least half a dozen intervening individuals, whom you can neither see through nor pass by. Is it possible that in Lineland proximity is not necessary for marriage and for the generation of children?" "How can you ask so absurd a question?" replied the monarch. "If it were indeed as you suggest, the universe would soon be depopulated. No, neighborhood is needless for the union of hearts, and the birth of children is too important a matter to have been allowed to depend upon such an accident as proximity. You cannot be ignorant of this, yet since you are pleased to affect ignorance, I will instruct you as if you were the veriest baby in Lineland. Know then that marriages are consummated by means of the faculty of sound and the sense of hearing. You are, of course, aware that every man has two mouths or voices, as well as two eyes, a bass at one and a tenor at the other of his extremities. I should not mention this, but that I have been unable to distinguish your tenor in the course of our conversation." I replied that I had but one voice, and that I had not been aware that His Royal Highness had two. "That confirms my impression," said the king, "that you are not a man, but a feminine monstrosity with a bass voice and an utterly uneducated ear. But to continue. Nature having herself ordained that every man should wed two wives—" "Why two?" asked I. "You carry your affected simplicity too far," he cried. "How can there be a completely harmonious union without the combination of the four in one, viz., the bass and tenor of the man, and the soprano and contralto of the two women?" "But supposing," said I, "that a man should prefer one wife or three?" "It is impossible," he said. "It is as inconceivable as that 2 and 1 should make 5, or that the human eye should see a straight line." I would have interrupted him, but he proceeded as follows. "Once in the middle of each week, a law of nature compels us to move to and fro with a rhythmic motion of more than usual violence, which continues for the time you would take to count 101. In the midst of this choral dance, at the 51st pulsation, the inhabitants of the universe pause in full career, and each individual sends forth his richest, fullest, sweetest strain. It is in this decisive moment that all our marriages are made. So exquisite is the adaptation of bass to treble, of tenor to contralto, that oftentimes the loved ones, though 20,000 leagues away, recognize at once the responsive note of their destined lover, and, penetrating the paltry obstacles of distance, love unites the three. The marriage in that instant consummated results in a threefold male and female offspring, which takes its place in Lineland." "What? Always threefold?" said I. "Must one wife then always have twins?" "Bass-voiced monstrosity! Yes," replied the king. "How else could the balance of the sexes be maintained? If 2 girls were not born for every boy? Would you ignore the very alphabet of nature?" He ceased, speechless for fury, and some time elapsed before I could induce him to resume his narrative. "You will not, of course, suppose that every bachelor among us finds his mates at the first wooing in this universal marriage chorus. On the contrary, the process is by most of us many times repeated. Few are the hearts whose happy lot it is at once to recognize in each other's voices the partner intended for them by Providence, and to fly into a reciprocal and perfectly harmonious embrace. With most of us, the courtship is of long duration. The wooers' voices may perhaps accord with one of the future wives, but not with both, or not, at first, with either, or the soprano and contralto may not quite harmonize. In such cases, nature has provided that every weekly chorus shall bring the three lovers into closer harmony. Each trial of voice, each fresh discovery of discord, almost imperceptibly induces the less perfect to modify his or her vocal utterance so as to approximate to the more perfect. And after many trials and many approximations, the result is at last achieved. There comes a day at last when, while the wonted marriage chorus goes forth from universal Lineland, the three far-off lovers suddenly find themselves in exact harmony, and, before they are awake, the wedded triplet is wrapped vocally into a duplicate embrace, and nature rejoices over one more marriage and over three more births. There we have connubial relations in Lineland. Quite a dream for this Flatland person about Lineland. And I guess we'll be on with more tomorrow. Not sure what's up because I haven't checked ahead. I did put the table of contents on the first or second reading, if anybody cares. Make it a great day, and bye for now.